Welcome, Edward Hansen. Hi, welcome. You're on mute.
How's that?
Much better.
Okay.
So we have one other person on the call with us at the moment, and their video's not on. And I'm not sure that that is actually the person, the name on the Zoom square. I'm not sure that's actually the person that's on the Zoom, because that's a common name that I've seen.
That's Sherry.
Yeah, I think what happens is Sherry may have shared her link, and some people have brought their connected that way and haven't changed their Zoom names.
I lost the screen.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, I guess what? I finally got to see my aurora borealis when I was in Alaska. I was so
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that great news. Okay.
yeah, that was bucket list checked. So happy. I wasn't sure that I was able to see it, but I got to see it. It was nice.
Now you're on to your next bucket list item, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Denny is in Alaska with his wife, enjoying family time. So I'm here. We might be joined also by Don Eldridge. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But we'll start, okay? I'm a little discombobulated because it's hard for me to walk and chew gum at the same time, and people are coming requesting admittance into the room. We'll wing it. We'll survive, right? Welcome, Gift. Good to see you again.
Hi, Annie. Good seeing you. So this is my first time join Friday afternoon. I did listening this morning. My son have something. So quick question. Is this what's the difference between the one in the morning and this afternoon?
That's a great question. And this is an anomaly because usually Denny is here.
Mhm.
So in the morning, we have a 30-minute recon real estate conversation role play Monday through Friday.
Mhm.
And on Friday, Denny is generous and shares 1 hour of his time in the afternoon to dissect. So in the morning, when we have short role plays
Mhm.
and short feedback, in this mastery call, we kind of dissect into it. So we have fewer role plays and more feedback that helps us sharpen our sword and become better at our craft.
Oh, okay.
This may not be the best example of this call, and I'm so glad you're here. Please come back next
Oh,
week so you can experience what it's intended to be.
thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'm great to join this because I need anything I can help, myself to get better.
So we're always learning, right? That's the beautiful thing about learning-based people, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to start by introducing a historical fact. This is how Denny usually starts the events. I like to use this historical fact today, which is the opening of the Brooklyn Bridge. Susan might be familiar with it because she's on the west coast of the States. Did you know, Susan, that in 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge opened?
No, now I know.
Yes. And it connected two different points, and communication and travel was easier. And that's the goal of our role plays today. We will become better at our crafts, and we will communicate at a higher level and get better results for our clients, the people that hire us, right? Okay. So I'll ask for volunteers. Is there anything that you're working on or anything that you would like to address? Maybe some scenarios or real life examples that you're going through now.
So I have a question. If you are closing and the escrow officer has not, the money funded yesterday and it's supposed to close because you're looking for confirmation today. The escrow officer never gave you the commission instruction, the sign one. What do you do?
I would call the escrow, I would call the closing agent.
No, I'm the listing agent. Yeah,
Oh, is this okay. If this is a real life scenario, since every closing, every title company operates differently, I would call them directly. I wouldn't attempt to go through a role play with that, but I would call them and ask, what is the next step? We don't have that issue here with the title companies that we use. And every time sometimes there are hiccups, so I would call them and seek clarification.
yeah. So I don't know if anyone wants to role play this, but
I can. Yeah, I can role play with you.
so I don't know if anyone is really good with outbound calling. When I call someone, they said, I'm waiting for the interest rate to go down before I sell them, right? Then I say, well, what do you mean by interest rate? Are you selling or to buy? Or what does the interest rate has to do with you selling?
Okay, so would gift be a buyer or a seller?
Seller is an expired call.
Okay, all right.
So do you want to play that with me a little bit, Luis?
Gift offered to role play it with you. If you would like, why don't we start with that? And I love this. I actually just had this scenario with a buyer and who I haven't yet met with, right? This is over the phone. I said, hey, that's a great question. And when we meet, go for the close, right? When we meet, that'll be one of the first things we discuss. And in advance of our meeting, would it be beneficial to you to speak with a lender who can give you, prepare a pre-approval letter for you, right? So I have a great relationship with the lenders that we work with, and the lender actually already broached that concern with the buyer so that when I meet with him, it's just going to be a regurgitation of information.
Well, I didn't even have this conversation. He's actually a seller and he's trying to sell his home, but he's saying that he's waiting for interest rate to come down before he sell. And that's when I naturally say, well, are you looking to sell this house and buy another one? Or are you, what does interest rate have to do with you in selling? And he said, no, I'm just waiting for interest rate to come down. I don't know if that was a brush off, but I put that in there for him to think about that.
Gift, do you Allie?
Yeah.
You usually work with buyers, right? Okay. Brian, are you and Edward, are you strong with sellers? Are you seller heavy, listing heavy?
Yes,
not
I
good.
am. That's literally all I do.
Okay. So, and Bryant, what about you?
I do. Yes, that's mainly all I do is expired listings, FSBOs, pre-foreclosures. I like listings.
Okay.
That's
So would
fine.
of you like to role play this with Susan? Or maybe Susan, would
Yeah, I'll
you
role play.
benefit from having this conversation or hearing Edward and Bryant have the role play, since this is what they do day in and day out?
Well, what's the script that we're gonna?
So
What's the
here's
actual
the thing,
scenario?
Brian, I cold call a seller and I say, hey, do you want to role play that with me a little bit? And then you'll be the seller. Your objection is and you're waiting for interest rate to come down. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Susan. I'm calling about ABC Street. When will you be putting the house back on the market?
I thought it was on the market.
Oh yeah. Well, I know that it has came off the market, and now that it didn't sell, when will you be putting the house back on the market?
Oh, well, I'm not sure. I thought the agent had it on the market and if it's off the market now, then I guess I'm gonna try to look at my options.
I see. Well, I'm gonna go off a little bit. You're supposed to say, well, you're waiting for interest rates to come down. That was
Yeah,
objection.
yeah. So I'm telling you that I'm looking at my options and then
Oh, okay. You look at the
then
options. What option is that? Are you looking at?
we're interviewing another agent here at the end of the week, Sunday, and today's Friday. And just trying to look at our options to see if we can get it sold. I know the rates are high, but that may end up determining our decision.
Okay, so you're thinking about interest rate and you're looking to interview agents this Sunday. I would love to come by and see what kind of option I can help you solve. And if I can help you solve that, would it make sense for us to meet this Sunday between 2 to 4?
It would, that's a good idea. It's just that what would you do differently? Because, you can't change interest rates, but what would you do differently that would help us get a household?
I see. So you're thinking interest rate is a deterrent of you getting your home sold. Is that what I'm hearing?
Hey,
Simple supply.
I'm gonna interrupt. I'm sorry. I wonder if it would be helpful if Bryant were the agent, Susan, and you were the seller.
Okay, go
He
ahead.
he could reach or speak to you the way he would speak, and then we can
Yeah.
try it with Edward.
All right, go ahead.
So,
Brian.
and I'm just because interest rates is not just because I make these calls every day. Interest rates are not the first thing they talk about. But okay, ring. Susan.
Yes,
Hey, is this Susan? I'm not sure about the right number.
yeah, this is Susan. What can I do for you?
Hey, Susan, I believe there was a house that was on the market on 123 Elm Street. I'm assuming are you the owner?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Has that house still going up for sale, or what's your plans with it?
Oh, no, I'm just waiting for the interest rates to come down.
You're waiting for your church to come down. Is that to relist the property, or what's the decision with interest rates?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for interest rates to come down before I put it back on the market.
Okay. Well, just curious, why are you trying to sell?
What do you mean? I want to sell. It's
Okay.
personal.
Well, if you could sell, where are you moving to?
Does it really matter?
It does. It helps me be able to market. If I was to help you as far as list the property, it helps me market the property and how aggressively I should be able to approach helping you. If I don't know, if you're moving to out of the country or if you're just buying something else that's new construction. Really, your timeline could change depending on your scenario. So, but
Yeah, but you know what? I'm actually not going to sell until the interest rate comes down.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Do you plan on buying something if this was to sell?
Yeah,
Okay. Are you aware, or were you in the market back in 2022 in 2021 when rates have dropped significantly?
I hear about it, but no.
Okay. And were you aware of when rates dropped and inventory it was still low that prices skyrocketed?
Yeah, that's what I hear, but I was not in the market at that time.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. Now, Susan, when your house was on the market, did you get any offers at all? Any showings whatsoever?
We have some showing, yeah.
Okay. But no offers at all.
No, I mean, if there was offer, I would have left. We wouldn't have this conversation.
Okay. And Susan, when you say you're waiting for interest rates to drop, help me understand, what do you mean by that? Are you waiting for interest rates to drop so you can buy something, or do you think that's going to determine a buyer seeing a property?
Well, Brian, if the interest rate is 7.5, the people
Okay.
are not going to be able to afford my house.
Okay. Is that what you believe?
Well, that's what my agent is telling me. Think
Okay.
about it, right?
The previous agent that had it on the market that
So we're at
that
3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes.
yeah. I'm really trying to connect here and understand. I'm not trying to set the appointment. I mean, because if you're just beating around the bush,
I know.
if we're
So
not
this
gonna
is where
list.
I was having the thing I was asking him. Basically, is it really, are you looking to buy something And he didn't answer that, right? So he's insisted that it was interest rate that he couldn't sell his home. So that's
Okay.
when I asked him if this is really interest rate. So I think if I would have gone in, I didn't have that much time because he kind of hung up, right? But I would have said, hey, you know what? Maybe I can help you solve that problem. Why don't we meet for a couple of minutes to see if this makes sense for you to sell?
Did he really tell you that it's not, it's personal? He's a, yeah, that sounds like a seller I'm not willing to work with. If he's not
Yeah.
gonna tell me, then he's not gonna willing to drop the price if we need to. Well, I'm just not willing to invest my money into a seller like that.
So let's dissect it, right? Let's dive into the mastery part of the call. The conversation model we were introduced to by Denny, and I feel like that didn't happen with either of the scenarios, right? There was acknowledgement, but did either of you isolate to see if that was the only objection that the seller
I think
had?
I tried to isolate, but in a different way. I didn't say it other than interest rates. I
Yeah.
said, is it interest rates is affecting your decision on buying side, or is it you selling and she just wouldn't answer? So it's, again, I wouldn't work with a seller like that. I'm just not.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened. I should have said, other than interest rate, is that preventing you from selling your home or moving? I think that was actually a very powerful word, keyword, other than that. Yeah.
Because we know, right, that some sellers put properties on the market with the intention to sell, and we know others put it on the market just to see how the market will respond, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They want
And it sounds like the person she's calling isn't highly motivated to sell. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Probably.
And Susan, that takes time. Sellers like that take time away from the other 15, 20 other clients you're working with too. Because they
Well,
want to have you
here's my struggle. I don't know what kind of list you're calling, but if I'm able to get someone on the phone after like 30 minutes on a call, if I'm speaking to well, yeah, I'll take my time to speak to them, because otherwise I'm just gonna like just sit for 2 hours and not even have a conversation. That's the challenge I'm having. People don't even pick up the phone. I don't know what market you're in. Are you in the East Coast, Florida?
South. I'm here in Louisiana,
Oh,
Baton Rouge,
okay.
New Orleans. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's ask Edward. Edward, do you have any thoughts on this? Can you help us dissect it?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, because I've got a blank screen here right now. No, not really. I think the prospect was pretty stubborn. I mean to do this, and like the other gentleman said, your time is worth something, and you kind of like you're beating a dead horse if they refuse to look at anything else or think about another avenue or whatever. So I would probably not be able to go too far with a person like this if they're not going to tell you their motivation. And so I probably would just say, well, okay, if I call you in a few months and see how you're doing or something like that, and call it quits.
How many of you feel like the interest rate was a smokescreen?
It is.
I did.
It is.
No.
If you're
Yeah, I
selling
feel-
a house, I mean, no matter what, you're still gonna get proceeds unless you don't have that much equity to buy a home that you want, then you're not being realistic.
So he might be one of those buyer or sellers that just wants to see if he can get a pie in the sky price. Is it by chance, in your opinion, do you feel like it's overpriced?
Oh, it is definitely price.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try another example. We have Gift is new to the call and she'd like to learn. Edward, would you mind role playing a scenario with Gift?
I wouldn't mind passing on that one because I don't have any experience in that one at all.
A gift? Or are you? Oh, I see.
No.
Someone's her name is
Gift is
Gift.
her
Okay.
name. Gift is
Okay.
her
Oh,
name.
wow. Okay.
Oh,
And
What's
yeah,
the script?
so
I'll
you
do it.
could Oh, well, here, and I appreciate that. And let's see if we can have
No,
another person talk, and then we can come back because we usually don't have a lot of participants. So Edward, would you like to call, as an agent, would you like to call Gift with a scenario that will help her and the rest of us grow?
I don't have anything right now. This company just arrived and I've got to step away for a few minutes.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
Okay, wait. Steve, what would you like to,
Wait this, since you already went, before we have any repeats, let me ask if Allie or Tal or Joe would like to speak. Here we go.
Can help Gift out if we can just, what's the scenario? Any particular one again? Just repeat that.
Gift, is there a special scenario you would like to?
Yeah, I actually support to a follow-up call with the fishbowl that I called the first time. If it's somebody here want to work with me on what should I do next, basically we can locate it, right? So I called her already first time. This is my second call, just basically follow up because she's not ready to interview the agent. Right? Ali, you want to do that?
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Ali.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Do you remember me, Gift, that I called you last week?
Yeah, something about trying to sell my house, right?
Yeah. So last time we talked, you said you wasn't sure if you want to hire the agent yet. Are you still thinking about that, or is it okay that I can stop by to preview your home just 30 minutes to meet with you or tour your home? Maybe I have, to show my buyer or offer you my service.
Do you have a buyer?
Not particular yet, just because I haven't seen your home. The way I work, I usually sell the home twice. I sell to the agent before I sell to the buyer. So I would like to go to your home and preview your house and see if anything I can do to help you sell your home.
Well, I mean, if you have a buyer, that would be, we can talk, but I have pictures on Zillow and I think on Realtor and Homes, there's pictures of my house. I think, you can see what it looks like. I'm gonna keep trying to sell it myself for a while.
I definitely can see the picture. You did a good job. So the reason I said it, Ali, because I've done so many home sale with the for sale by owner just like you and help you invest the most money in your pocket. Is that something you're looking to do?
Well, I mean, I definitely want to net the most money. How can you net me the most money? I mean, the price is the price.
Yes, I understand that. This is why we need to meet because, I have a marketing plan that I can share with you what we do different from the for sale by owner like you. This is what I do every day. All my listing is sold, and in fact, Ali, is so higher than the list price. So I would like for you to get that, benefit of working with professional agent like me and a strong negotiation for you. So is you free tomorrow at 2 o'clock or Thursday at 1 o'clock better for you?
I don't know. I've had other agents call and they tell me that they have great marketing and that they can sell my house. Like, what's the difference? I have it out there, I have the price, and if I have to pay commission, I would imagine I'd probably lose more money than make it.
I can appreciate that. I know this is why you do for sale by owner, right? You try to get the most money, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's why I want to show you how we do that. So we have a different marketing plan that you have an option to pick. If you're concerned about commission, you can go through with me. Which one do you prefer? Which one is makes sense to match with your strategy? So I really want to share with you what I do, and I can't just look at the online. I really want to meet with you in person and tour your home.
So you have different options.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by option? Like commission?
But you said different. I can look at the commissions and I can look at what you offer and I can pick what is good for me.
Yes, correct. Yes, we have a different offer. Based on what service it meet your need, and that's why we have different options. That's why I said I have been working successful with many for sale by owner. So I really want to share with you.
All right, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, so is that tomorrow 3 o'clock work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Ali, before I meet with you, I'm sorry. I should just close right now, right? Because I have appointment. But
Once
I
you've
forgot
got
to
the
go
close.
through the motivation part, which I have no idea when she is
So-
moving. Is that when I supposed to ask that?
So once you have the close,
Uh-huh.
let me ask you this, Gift. What is the purpose of your call?
So the purpose of my call to meet with her.
To schedule an appointment. Did you achieve that?
Yes.
Then there.
Okay.
Great job. Before some of us go to meet with a seller for an appointment, we have another call called a pre-qualification call,
Mm.
and that's where we would go through that.
So
Right.
let's say my appointment is tomorrow. I could just call before I meet her, or should I just go ahead and meet her? And that
I would just go.
I
Me
would set
personally,
the expectation. I'd say, hey, Allie, great. I'll see you tomorrow at 4. And between now and then, I'll give you a quick call. It'll
Okay.
take about 5 minutes. And I'm going to ask you a few questions so that I can be best prepared for our meeting. And I can make I can be respectful of your time.
Mm.
So I would set the expectation for another call. But once you have the appointment, like that was the purpose of that call.
Okay.
Okay. Well done, Gift. You had multiple closes, and that's what we're supposed to do. You closed multiple times.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
It was
Would
good.
anyone else like to provide feedback to Gift to help her become more comfortable with what she's doing? Joe?
Yeah, Gift. I loved how direct you were being and how you kept trying to close her. One thing I would suggest, because I think it's helpful, is you need to figure out what it is her goal is. And at one point you did assume that it was her saving the most money. I figure that out before you tell her what her goal is, so that you can revisit that and use her words instead of creating the narrative for her.
Repeat what she said. What?
Well, instead of saying, I can help you save the most money, that may not be her goal. Her goal might be to sell it quickly.
Okay.
So how would we find out, Gift? What question could we ask to find out what her goal is?
What question I should say? If in that conversation, should I ask her, why do you sell the home? Is that right? Or what question?
There you go. There's one. Another one is, hey, Gift, what is important to you about the sale of the home?
What important for you? Okay.
You know?
All right. About selling home.
Joe, do you have a quick question that you could throw out? Because there's so many questions to get to that answer.
What prevented you from hiring an agent when you decided to sell this on your own?
Okay.
That might be one way to go with that. Another is, what has you thinking about selling this home right now? It looks awesome.
To find
Or
the
maybe it doesn't. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we have Tao, who would like to role play the interest rate scenario that Susan had earlier. Joe, would you like to be the receiver, the seller of that? And then you can role play with another person as an agent. He's muted, so we're going to take that as a yes.
Can I go in one turn? I have to get ready for an appointment and I need 5 minutes.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
Joe go first. Let Joe go first so he
Oh.
can go to appointment.
Well, I think he's getting ready now. Sandra's driving. Gosh, she must be driving across the state today. Bryant, you were the agent before. Would you like to be the consumer this time with Tao?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So am I an agent or the seller?
Well, Tao, would you like to be the agent or the seller handling the interest rate?
I want to try to be the agent, handle the
Okay,
objection.
let's go with that.
Okay.
And let's be mindful of the conversation model, the acknowledge, isolate, clarify, and close. Okay, let's attempt to address those.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi Brian, this is Tao with Keller Williams. Your property on 123 Main Street, is that still for sale?
It is. I'm still trying to sell it.
So I saw it came off the market. Did your agent happen to tell you why it did not sold?
No, I actually didn't hear from the agent. You know, they told me a few days ago that's gonna expire. I just said, okay. And, you know, it's been several months, 6 months now, and they just couldn't sell it. So I'm not sure what to do next.
Gotcha. So what was the main reason that you put your house on the market in the first place? Where are you heading to?
I'm trying to move to Tampa, Florida.
Perfect. Tampa is very nice. So let me ask you when you plan to put it back on the market so you can get to Tampa?
I was hoping to be in Tampa before the holidays this year. So I have what, another 5 months, 6 months? Yeah, 6 months to
Yeah, so
be in Tampa. So as soon as
so
possible, really.
gotcha. So 5, 6 months is actually not a very long time. If I can show you a way to get your house sold in 5 to 6 months, so you can get to Florida by the end of 6 months, would that sound like that would align with your goal, right?
Yeah, you know, that's what the other, you know, that would be great. It's just I'm not sure if the house is going to sell because of interest rates, and I think that's stopping the house from selling.
Okay, so what would the interest rate have to look like for you to decide to sell the house?
Well, I mean,
Are
interest
you
rates kind of affected. We got some showings here and there. I know we priced the house quite high initially. We adjusted it and got more showings, but we didn't really get any offers at all. You know, I know houses are still selling. It's just that I think that interest rates are stopping houses from selling.
so it sounds to me like you still wanna looking to sell your house and you want to wait for the interest rate to go down so you can expose your house to as many qualified buyers as possible so you can net the most amount of money, right?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, that's normally what causes people to buy is interest rates being lower. But yes, that's very true.
So both you and me know the interest rate not gonna go down to 2% pre-COVID. So what will happen to your plan if it's not going to the level that you were looking for?
Well, I mean, if interest rates don't drop this year at all, then I mean, that's going to be quite upsetting for me. You know, I would like to move to Tampa. That's not that I have to, but you know, it's not like I'm desperate to needing the additional $5,000 or $20,000 in my pocket to move to Tampa. It's just it'd be nice, but then again, I don't have a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It would be nice to own one, but I don't need one. Um, so you know, I think that I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the agent just didn't do enough marketing or if that's the rates, but that's what some people are saying is that rates are stopping people from buying. So because of affordability. But I mean, if you have something that would, you know, impress me that actually would work, then I'm willing to look at it.
Absolutely, Brian. So let me tell you, me and my team was able to sold 10 listings just on your market at your market price in the last month with the same in the same market in the same interest rate condition. So let's before you make any decision whether you want to sell now or you want to sell later, let's get together tomorrow. We can go over exactly what's going on right now, what we anticipate the market going over the next several months, and then what we can do differently to upgrade your exposure to all the buyers to get your house sold. Would 3 or 4 p.m. work for you?
Yeah, I could do 4 p.m.
Okay, I'm looking forward to see you at 4.
Okay. See you then.
Thank you.
Okay. Great job getting the appointment. And I have a question for you, Tal. This is like a help you grow question. Do you
Yeah.
know why he's moving to Tampa?
No, I didn't ask that.
Do you know ideally what time he would like to be there by?
In the next 5 to 6 months.
Okay. And do you know if he has a place there already?
No, I missed that question too.
So where I'm going with this is would you agree that there are some opportunities that could help us to help them more?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So those are some thoughts.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You did a really great job of going to the pain. You asked him, if you don't get there by that time, what will happen? So well done with the pain.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And Gift or Ally, can you provide some feedback? And Bryant, as a receiver, can you provide a feedback item for Tao? That's why we're here to grow, right?
I think that, is it Tao? Is it Tao? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
So I think that your tone was very good. You responding to it was very good. You were very responsive to when I said something. It wasn't necessarily you weren't combating me. A lot of agents try to combat, especially FSBOs, or try to tell them, oh, well, that's not true or whatever. You are very, very good on responding in an indirect way that you're there to help, and that's a lot of agents, especially expired listings, are too aggressive, and it just shuts the seller down. So far as your response, and then asking me, well, what if I don't? It's a consequence question. That brought out, well, I don't need the additional $20,000 in my pocket. That just came to my mind. It just came off my tongue. So I don't need the additional $5,000 or $20,000 to move to Tampa. It would be great, but I don't need to. So that tells me that obviously I'm flexible in price. So you got that out of me without even me thinking. Is
And
all
it
sellers gonna say
also-
that? I don't.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
also tell you that, like the three things that most agents go to that cause some people to cringe, I know this causes Denny to cringe, is I can help you get there in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle and get the most amount of money. Money isn't isn't the biggest concern for you, right? So if we listen closely, we will be guided as to, help them find the solution, right?
Yeah.
I
And she
always
could have
think-
talked on, she could have talked on that inflation in Tampa is going rampant year round. So the prices of houses are getting more expensive by the month almost. So she could have mentioned that too.
Yeah,
was
and
probably-
it would sound something like this. Bryant, may I share what concerns me about that?
Yeah, what?
Dot, dot, dot. And then go into that
Yeah.
fact, right?
Yeah.
I think something that we, being on the buyer side for 8 years, another angle or aspect is if you're selling and you're concerned about the interest rates, if we have data, then we can point out that 456 Main Street sold 2 weeks ago, and there are buyers out there that are buying, and the ones that didn't get that house lost out. We have all those buyers that are looking for inventory in this area here. So yeah, the interest rates may be high, and yet there are plenty of buyers still out there willing to pay those interest rates.
And in the three scenarios that we've gone through so far with the interest rates, we haven't heard this, and I've been excited to like voice it. The interest rates, will the interest rates be constant forever, or are they
Right, and temporary.
subject to fluctuate, guys?
Right.
They're going to fluctuate, yes? Yes, the yes, right?
Yes.
What about this? Once the property is purchased, are we ever able to renegotiate the purchase price? No. So would that be something that would help bring clarity to a seller? Something along the lines, apparently I'm talking to myself.
So
Something-
I wasn't sure when you say they cannot change the price, right? Let's say you're talking about
So-
selling now.
So I bought houses in the past, Gift,
Mhm.
and I have never ever been able to change the price of what I paid for that house, but I have been able to refinance over time.
Okay. Right, but then some concern from the seller is like, all the buyer that I work with right now, they say, oh, I don't want to go compete right now, and I also don't want to overprice buying the home, right? Because of the way the market is. Most of the house that the buyer, they have to pay more.
Are you in a seller? Where are you located, Gift?
I'm in DC area.
Okay, so are you in a seller's market, a buyer's market,
Yes,
or
the seller
both?
market.
You're in a seller's market? Okay, so yeah, I'm in South Florida. We are not in that market. We are approaching balance. And
Oh,
in some cities, we're even at the beginning of a buyer's market.
okay. So
So it's
for
like-
us, right now, I have a lot of buyer that been holding because they said that we don't want to compete, we don't want to pay overprice. We're just gonna wait for the market to go down, which I know one of the practice we had last time, we talk about if you buy now, you can always reposition,
Refinance.
refinancing it.
So can anyone think of some benefits for buyers in today's market?
I actually wanted to bring this up that I'm actually starting to see a lot more pre-foreclosures than auctions.
I'm
I hadn't
happy to
actually,
see that. As an
I've actually never, I've been following Denny now since 2020, and I've never heard scripts go over pre-foreclosures, like talking to a seller.
I'd like to dive into that, but before we exit this conversation, can anyone think of the benefit for a buyer in a market where the interest rates are higher than people would like them to be?
Well, there
Yeah.
is some less competition.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Is that helpful to a buyer?
No,
No,
because
it's not.
it's still
It is to not have the
is.
competition. That is very helpful.
It's very
At the end
helpful.
of the day, they want to look at a dollar and cents. So this is what I would take a different approach. I would say, hey, if you're concerned, are you, depending if they're renting, are you going to rent until the interest rates come down? Or how long will you rent for before you buy and start building equity? And when the interest rate comes down, if they complain about interest rate, then just say when the interest rate come down, you just refi. But no matter what, you want to get in the game, not to play the game.
And when the interest rates, who wants to be Kevin's interested in role playing. Kevin, would you like to role play a scenario along those lines? A buyer who's hesitant to buy now because of the rates?
Sure, I would love to. My apology for the video being off, but if you don't mind.
Forgive you. We'll forgive you. Okay. Who would like to be on the receiving end of Kevin's call? Kevin, let me ask you, would you like to be the buyer or would you like to be the agent?
Agent would be great. Thank you.
Okay. So who would like to be the buyer who has concerns about the interest rate?
I am.
Okay.
Somebody else, I'm sorry, I already had my time, but if somebody else want to do, that's fine too.
Okay, so let's see if anyone else would like to play, and if not, Gift, it's all yours. Would anyone else like to play the role of a buyer? Okay, Gift, go for it.
Okay.
And Gift, you can be tough too. You can be tough on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the buyer that I can't convince them, so. So you calling me, right, Kevin?
Yes. So, hello, Gift. This is Kevin
Oh,
Dolan.
wait, excuse me.
I'm the agent.
Joe just came back, and we know his time is limited because he's on his way to the appointment. And since he hasn't done this yet, Gift, would you mind if Kevin role played with Joe?
Oh, yeah,
That's right at the
definitely.
beginning. Okay, thank you. Okay, Joe, before you get your next listing that we know you're going to win, would you like to role play with Kevin as an agent? And he's going to call a buyer who's reluctant to move forward with the interest rates where they're at today?
So I'm a buyer who's reluctant about the interest rates.
Yes.
Awesome, let's do it.
Hello, Joe. How you doing today? This is Kevin Dolan from Keller Williams.
Oh, hey, Kevin, how are you?
Doing pretty well. So, I understand you want to purchase a home.
We were thinking about it, but these interest rates, man, they're just too high.
Yeah, I get that. They've really gone up, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, geez, I saw they were like 7 the other day.
So,
I don't know. We're all set for right now.
yeah, I get it. So, what about the interest rates that is bothering you? Just the percentage or the extra money per month? Extra money, extra payments every month.
Well, I don't know, just it's so expensive, and I don't know, I just it's just a big number, that percent,
So it's the money.
it's a lot of money, right?
Is it the money you can't afford
Well,
or
yeah.
you don't want to pay?
I just don't feel like I can afford it.
Okay, so maybe we can go down to a home that's priced a little bit less, so you can't afford it.
Hey, since this is master, I'm gonna butt in, okay?
Please.
All right. I'm
Oh.
gonna ask you 3 questions, Kevin, and you guys can pick up on it. One are the interest rates Joe's only concern? 2, what's important to him about making a move? And 3, can you convert his general conversation about the price into a dollar amount?
Got it. Yeah. I was trying to get to that. I was just trying to isolate on another part of it. But what I was trying to go to was where I was going to try to get to, which is going to be more than 2 minutes, obviously, was that the interest rates may be up, but the house values are going to be going down because the demand is less. It's not as strong as the first one. Second one is if they can't afford it, then they can buy a house that is less expensive, so they can get in. Are they renting? Or did they already own? Did they need to move? Why are they moving? Etc. I was going to get down there, but I wasn't going the routine, I guess. I wasn't going down.
So let's say you went down that, and then Joe said, okay, great, you've addressed that. Now I have this other concern because you didn't isolate in the beginning.
Okay.
You could potentially be blindsided later.
Right.
Can I go a different way with that? What if I don't care about your narrative and your reason? Not to be mean, but what if it doesn't resonate and I hang up sooner?
We like mean. I like mean. So I would just call back and say, I really do. But it's the truth. I like the truth. So, and it's obviously hostility, obviously frustration on your part. So we can get to you to buy a property probably easier if you are mad because you're just annoyed by every other agent out there.
May I propose that we reverse the roles?
Okay, please. Okay. And I would also say to you, we obviously got disconnected. I'm calling you back because I know you still want to talk to me on something according to that. I mean, I've got it in my head. I just don't know how to articulate it.
Okay, so we'll reverse the roles and then we'll provide some feedback and then we might be able to squeeze one more scenario in.
And can I be mean?
Ask Joe.
You be you.
Huh?
You be you. Yeah, that works for me.
I'm not mean. I'm not a mean person. Okay, I'll be nice.
Oh, you're mean. Oh, yeah, go for it. You can.
Okay.
Sure.
I think Joe's ready for any personality.
Okay, so I will be out of character. I will be mean.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, good afternoon, Kevin. It's Joe Barnes. How are you?
I've never heard of your name. Are you with the government?
Oh, no worries. I'm with Keller Williams. We spoke last week about your home search. I was just calling to check in to see how that's going.
Yeah, I kind of remember speaking about you. I've dropped everything. For the last week, I have been doing other things.
Oh, fair enough. Like what?
Well, I'm thinking about moving again, and I'm not really sure what to do and how to do it. I've spoke to a lender, and they haven't returned my phone calls, so just kind of done nothing.
Do you need someone you can get on the phone to answer these questions for you?
It would be nice.
Okay. Well, I can connect you with some lenders we're working with. Are
That'd
you
be very
available
nice.
this afternoon?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll send these over to you. You give them a call when you're ready. Can I ask, what has you thinking about buying a house right now?
Because I'm getting evicted out of the one I'm living in.
Oh, bummer, man. Well, that stinks. When is, do you have a court date already?
No, I'm gonna leave. The house had a little fire in it a couple weeks ago, so I just soon move out anyway.
Got it. Well, hey, in a perfect world, how soon would you like to be moved out and into your new place?
Yeah, that's what kind of bothers me because I wanted to do it about 6 months ago.
Okay. Well, hey, if we could get you into your new place, maybe not have to wait another 6 months, would you want to move now?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Do you have anybody that you would recommend as an agent?
Well, actually, that's why I'm calling you. I'm wondering if I can help you with your search right now. Do you have an agent? It sounds like not.
I have 3 or 4 I've spoken to, but they never follow up. They're usually pretty not very good about that. What makes you different?
Well, I'm calling you today. I am following up to see how your search is going. That's what you'd want an agent if you hired one, right?
Yeah, how long have you been in the business for?
Years, at least 5 years. And we've helped a lot of people in the same situation as you. Can I ask, it sounds like you're looking for someone experienced.
I am.
What's important about that?
Maybe they will, if you're experienced, maybe you will follow up on the things you promise.
Okay. Well, hey, if I promise to follow up with you and I can show you how to get to your goal here of buying a house and getting out of your current apartment that's had a fire, would it be worth 15 minutes of your time to meet with me?
You know, I don't know how good you are because 15 minutes doesn't seem like it would be long enough. So I don't know how you'd want to accomplish everything that I need in 15 minutes.
Fair. How long do you think we would need?
I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. If you're serious, about 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I can set that aside for you. I've got some time today or I've got tomorrow, which is better for you.
This is Memorial Day weekend, so Wednesday would be great. Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Okay. Let me just check. So right now I've got Wednesday, I've got a 2 o'clock, and I've got a 5 o'clock. Which would you prefer?
Which one can you get? Which one can you do 2 or 3 hours with?
I didn't catch that.
Which one can you invest 2 or 3 hours into?
Either. I just need to know which one works better for you so I can set aside that time for you.
5 o'clock.
Okay. And before I let you go, we set the appointment. I get all your contact information and I promise to call you the day of to confirm.
Perfect. Just so you know, I probably won't buy. Probably will not purchase through you though. I don't want to make it
That's
commit. I don't want
He's
to make
already
it.
That's
closed.
okay.
He's already closed you, Kevin.
Okay.
That's part 2. That's what you're going to tell him next Wednesday at 2. But he's going to win you over, I'm sure.
I'm sure you were very good.
So
Not
here's
mean
some
person. I was just trying to be mean. To
feedback
you.
I have for Joe, and every time I hear you speak, Joe, I have this thought, and I'm happy to be able to share it now. You're so even tempoed. I don't know if that was a skill that you learned, or if that's just part of your genetics, or if you don't have kids and don't have a need to modulate your voice. Like I have teenagers, my voice changes, but that is such a benefit and a skill to have an even tempo, because there are some things that Kevin said, and my reaction was I would have been a little jaw-dropping reaction, but you were even tempo, which is a great skill to have.
Yeah. How
Thank
do
you
you,
for
how do you
saying
do
that.
that? How do you do that?
It's a skill. You practiced it, right? Am I right?
It is. Yep.
Or you were born that way. Even when you cried as a baby, you were even tempo.
No. I work a lot with expireds and people who don't want to talk. And the best way to calm down someone who doesn't want to talk is to take a calm tone, I think. Some people try and match that, and that's one way to pattern interrupt. But if you're upset, and I don't think it helps for me to pause or break with you. So I'm going to try and follow up with you with a good question to get you back on track about what it is we want to talk about.
And another benefit of that, there's so many. Another one is, I think it subtly communicates that you're not tied to the outcome. You're not attached
True.
to the outcome. Is that another benefit that you've seen with that?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rattle through the rest of my notes that I wrote, and then I'll ask for other people to provide their feedback. You came from contribution with the lender, right? You listened to what Kevin said about not getting a response from the lender, and then you very nonchalantly offered your lender. That was another plus. You addressed the motivation. Kevin mentioned he's getting evicted, which I've never seen someone who's getting evicted be in a position to buy a home, but hey, I guess you'll discover that when you meet with him next Wednesday at 2.
For sure.
You went for the timeline. You discovered that he's not committed with an agent. And then you differentiated yourself from the other agents because you are calling him back, right? He said something, I forget what it was, and you quickly addressed it, and then you returned to the path that you were on. That's another learned skill for sure. And he addressed another concern, and you had the question, which is a great question for many situations. What's important about that? And then you closed them.
For me, it would have been
Yeah.
nice if he asked me why I was being evicted.
Kevin, I think if he
Yeah,
asked you why
well-
you're being evicted, he wouldn't have wanted to close you for the appointment.
I was trying to be mean, but it could have been a lot of nefarious reasons. Could have been legitimate.
Okay, but Kevin, what is his purpose for the call? To get the appointment, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Good.
And if you tell me all this stuff about how you just got evicted, that could take another 20 or 30 minutes,
Got it.
which we don't have time for, you know?
So how do you not be how do you not invest in the outcome and still sound like you're motivated to work with him?
The confidence, like he just emanates confidence when he speaks, as do other agents on the call. You know, I think that's another skill with the tone and the tempo.
So you
If whoever you're talking with wants to move, you just need to reaffirm that they want to do that. And once they commit to you, you can go any which way with that. But if they aren't committed to that, then what are you guys really talking about? So I try to get people to tell me, yes, I want to move. This is when I want to move. This is my plan for how I want to move. And then ask questions around that.
So the 2 or 3, I don't want to take up this is my last question. So Denny has it down to 2 minutes. Are we striving on a phone call in real life to get it to 2 or 3 minutes? Or are we trying to keep it open-ended?
I think we're striving to learn the bullets to get us through, like an outline, right? Because Joe, you strike me as a person, and Bryant and Susan, you strike me as the people that make a lot of phone calls. I don't think 2 minutes. Would you say 2 minutes is enough? Guess it
Absolutely
depends on
not.
who you're calling,
The-
right?
The fastest appointment I've ever set was like 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I've
But
never-
in the
I've never-
first 2 minutes, don't you know enough that you need to know to see if you want to continue
Yeah.
to invest time?
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, I'd
It
say that.
depends on your conversationalist with the person that you're having. If they like to chat and they need a lot more coasting, that's where you lead them. But it's not 2-minute mark. I think he's just putting a time there for us to cut down to the wire and close it. But oftentimes, I have never gone to a 2-minute conversation where I book an appointment. And if you usually do, those are not real appointments. They'll ghost on you.
So I think, and I could be wrong, and Denny can speak to this when he returns. He's endeavoring to teach us an outline, right? To find out if we want, if it's a viable candidate or not early on. Like you wouldn't want to talk about superfluous stuff and then get to the meat of the reason of your call at the end, only to find out that there is no purpose for them to sell or buy or what have you. Then that was time that you could have spent helping someone else. And that's what we're here to do, help other people. So we're at 1:58. We're not going to have another role play. Do we have any feedback, any ahas, any suggestions to help us all grow?
As I seen here, I'm still learning, right? So I do like Joe's style that he seemed very confident. He, you know, he respond, but he not really try to close or anything. He talked to him until like almost in the end that he asked for appointment. But most of the time he basically answered the question and try to basically build rapport. I don't know, that's what I pick up from.
And Bryant, do you have some input? Help us grow, because I think you and Joe and Susan and Allie, we have many strong people on the call.
Yeah.
Really, you've done
think-
this before.
I think I've seen a lot more engagement with conversations when you're asking for feedback with the client. We're not talking about showings. We're talking about like whether you're setting the appointment, buyer, seller, asking for their feedback. Hey, you know, whether it's a concept question, hey, if you can't sell your house here in 6 months, what happens then? Like that's, of course, that's their feedback. Like you want their input. So asking, instead of just being set on just getting the appointment doesn't mean anything. Because you could list 1,000 houses and they do nothing. Like, you know, unless they're motivated, have a need. So asking for their feedback mid-conversation which is part of the qualification process. So, but Joe and Susan did really good on that, and I believe Gift did really good on that too as well. And Tao, if that's wherever she's at, or if she left already. So
Yeah, she may be gone. So guys, we're at the end of the hour. Thank you all for coming. And we'll look forward to seeing Denny next week. Have a happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone.
Thank you so much for everything.
Bye, guys. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Louise.
Thank you.